Good afternoon. It is Thursday the 29th, 2 days before Goblin Market. Holy crap. I'm kind of prepared. I need to go do my breakdown and start that vlog, but I really want to at least get kind of through the collar piece, the yoke piece of my Valentine's Day cardigan. I was working on it last week. I've been working on it for a while. This is a thing I want to make into a pattern eventually. It's just going to take a little bit because my brain is so focused on other things. Well, that and like, it just takes a long time to make patterns in the first place. Anyways, we are halfway through the first portion of the yoke and we've got this little number going. It definitely needs to be blocked, but your girl's really bad at that. But yeah, we got this. We just need to make the triangle down. And I don't know if I'm going to continue, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just know that this is probably the final iteration of it. So what we have is we've got 7 in between right here. So when I started this, I started with a normal yoke raglan top style. And then I do the increases. I'm not doing any of the fancy pattern on the increase because I just don't want to do that math. But the next row over, I'll do the front post double crochet, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. All right. First portion of the yoke done. After several hours, we're back to point A, point 1. I don't know what you want to call it, but we're back to where we started. And it feels much better than it did before. A little bit wider, which is also okay. We got a little bit more depth in it. Hold on, it should sit up a little bit like this. I don't know how it's going to sit actually, because I still need to add the trim later. I'll get around to it, but yeah. It's divisible by 15, if that makes any sense. I will be attaching my hearts right here. I really should block this. I really should, but I think I'm going to wait until after I finish it to block it. I know a lot of people, they block their squares first. They block this first. Next, and then they block the next part, and then they block the sleeves, and then they do another blocking. That's a lot of work for little old me because I'm still learning about blocking and how all that works and how it relaxes my yarn, I guess. I will say this one right here, not blocked. This one here, blocked, and you can see the like length of it, how it's a little bit longer on this one than it is on this. But that being said, I am considering buying a, like, okay, so when I was growing up, we always had this like little thing that we folded our clothes over when we were drying it inside. We had a drying rack outside. I guess it's called a drying rack, but we had a clothesline outside. But we also had our indoors one for like the more delicate clothes. And I'm going to probably buy one next time I go to, is it H Mart or Lotte? I think it's H Mart. I can't remember because they had them there. And I remember turning to my husband and being like, once I have enough money again, I'm going to buy this for my blocking for my clothes. And then I'm going to buy an electric blanket for myself because I deserve an electric blanket. Right now, I'm just using one of those like back heaters for my feet because I get really cold at night. And I'm just suffering. I am freezing. So I'll be doing that soon because after this market and last market, I should have enough money to purchase at least the clothing rack. Hopeful about that. I'll talk about what I want to make or my expectations are in my market vlog. But yeah, I'm going to block this eventually. I'm going to see if my husband wants to go to H Mart after. I can buy him dinner or something. I think that would be really sweet since he is my loyal subject. I'm just kidding. He helps me so much. I love him so much. So fingers crossed I can get that purchased soon. All right, I pieced it back together. And at this point, I really don't think I like the sleeve now. I think this is just too deep. So if I like smushed it a little bit, it'd be fine. So that means I have to make it bigger back here. I think I also want to lengthen this a little bit before I attach these guys, just to help with it not like being lopsided every time I wear it. Because like that's kind of weird, right? I kind of want it to sit like this anyways. So if I do that, then I definitely will be bringing this back. So yeah, we're going to do that. I don't know how much I should like shorten this by. I don't want to do a whole. Maybe I just take one off. Yeah, if I take one off, that should help it, right? Let me piece this together real quick. Attempt number 1,050,000,000,050. I do like the sleeves now. I still want to lower this a little bit so that that sits a little bit lower. And then this, like, if this is here, let me stand up. This is here. I want this to be here. So I think I'm going to do like maybe 5 more rows on the back to hold it down. We'll see how I'm feeling after that. And then we'll actually sew everything in. Good evening. It is 1:41 a.m. and I should be asleep because I have Goblin Market tomorrow and we're leaving the house at 8 o'clock. But I really want to work on this cardigan a little bit more before we left. Mostly because I wanted to get the hard part out of the way and then bring it. It's already so warm and cozy. It's still a little bit uneven, but at this point, I think I'm okay with how uneven it is now. It's not going to ride as poorly. And now, like, the triangles or the diamonds kind of match in the back because I did, like, I don't know how to explain it. I just did the diamond pattern a couple, I think it's 10 rows. It's definitely not 10 rows. But yeah, now all I have to do is attach. And then I think what I want to do is like separately make another one. So, oh, by the way, I took off the 2 extra that I made because I just too much of a gap here. And I don't know what happened, but it doesn't feel as bad now. And I think it actually might be because I lengthened this, that it's not as bad right down here. Great news. So yeah, I don't need these 2 hearts anymore. I may or may not still add them to the sleeve. I'd add them right there, I think. Or down here. Hold on. I wanted to save some of this project so I can bring it with me to Goblin Market because I don't know how busy it's going to be. The weather isn't looking too good. It looks like it might rain in the morning, but not too bad of a rain chance. We are closing early tomorrow because of the high wind. So that kind of sucks, but like also that means we can go get hot pot earlier, which I told my husband I would pay for him because he is my employee of the day, of every day, for life. This is what it looks like now. I'm going to bring this to Goblin Market. Oh, I should attach that there. I think I'm going to sew the bodice, not sew, but create the bodice separately. Well, this is the bodice. This is the yoke. And then the bodice, I guess. I don't know. There's another portion of it, and I don't think it's called bodice. But I'm going to create the bottom half separately and then attach it to this area. We're getting ready to leave. This is my outfit for right now. I'm going to have, for real this time, I'm going to record my outfit. For sure am going to record the whole thing for my market vlog, but this is just my getting set up outfit because it's cold. Okay, so fun fact about us. We are not morning people, and I'm sure you guys know this. Both of us have gone back into the house at least once. I'm probably still forgetting something. I forgot my hat. And I was just talking about my hair. I'm like, my makeup looks so weird without my hair done. And then I was like, oh my god, my hat! Now we're getting the car mount. We have a little bit of extra time because my booth setup doesn't take too long because honestly, I really don't have much. But I should talk about this in my market vlog. So go watch that vlog. Good day after the market. I have so much to tell you guys. My hair... oh. At least I got my face washed, but I keep on getting distracted. I'm trying to reply to Eerie Knots right now. I'm trying to like catch up on messages and all that on Instagram and like all this jazz, but I keep on. Ugh. This is one of those things I'm getting distracted with because like I found recently a custom fabric like designer or whatever. So you can send them a photo of something and they'll make a custom fabric print for you. So I'm about to let her know about that, but I keep on getting distracted by literally everything. So, the laundry's done. That's another distraction, but it's also something I need to get done. I always need to get it done. Good morning. Hello. It's like 2 days later, and I don't even know the last time what I talked to y'all about. I know I put out my vlog for the market, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed doing that. And I think I said this in the market vlog, but I am tempted to do more markets just so I can edit another market vlog. But I need to keep my head realizing that I am slow fashion, so I can't necessarily do that. It is very, very cold in the state, which is kind of good for me because I am a crocheter. You guys know that, obviously. But we've also been getting messages from, do we have OUC? I don't remember, the electric company. They've been sending messages to the local area being like, hey, conserve your energy, because these are record lows. Like, the last time we've had lows like this were like the 1930s, and it's tough. I haven't seen a freeze like this in quite a while. It's been since like maybe high school, probably less than that. I've been graduated since 2010. It's been a long time, so there's probably been more than just that. But we've been getting messages from the electrical companies. Like, everybody in the Central Florida area has been told, hey, try to conserve your energy, it's going to be tough and all that. And like, it sucks to be on that end because we've seen what happened in Texas, and I'm nervous, but luckily we only have like a couple more days to conserve, well, of this cold, really. So it shouldn't be too bad. But anywho's, to summarize the market vlog, if you haven't watched that or whatever, I had a lot of fun. I love the community. I'm so glad to be part of the local, like, Central Florida artist community, and I can't wait to get my feet back in it again. There's noises coming around here somewhere, and I have no idea where those noises are coming from. And I hope to learn how to edit my videos a little bit more. Update on the crochet project. I think I've told you guys where at one point I was so cold I just threw this on at the market because I was like, okay, I just gotta layer up, because my best friend, they were there helping me keep my tent down, and they were shivering, and I felt so bad. There were 4 of us holding down my tent, and each of them I tried to give hand warmers to, because like we have these little rechargeable electric hand warmers, and like, you know, that's not enough to keep your whole body warm, you know. My best friend was shivering, so I was like, hey, please please wear my jacket. And it was a little bit small on them, but like at least it would cover them up a little bit. And I was just wearing it around my waist because like it was keeping my legs warm, because I had forgotten my skirt. And so I was like, please wear this, please wear this. And then I just threw this on to help warm up the core of my body because I was still cold. But yeah, this one got a little bit of wear. And I'm sure it was a fashion statement at one point, and I'm like, whatever, it's fine, it's fine. I'm just trying to stay warm. I didn't get very far on my project because it was so cold and it was so busy. But here we go. I don't remember how many, I think it's like 138 stitches I needed for this, or no, 135. So I did 9 times 15 plus 2. Whatever that number is what I got. And we're working on here. There's a little bit of mess up at the beginning. I didn't realize what I was doing, but yeah, I think I want to keep on making this a little bit longer. This is a top. I'm working top down this whole entire cardigan, and we're gonna go until I'm tired or run out of yarn, which will probably happen. I will probably have to run out to Michael's. I may do that today. I don't know. It's so cold out there. Like, yesterday there were a lot of pipes that bursted, and I'm so lucky. I completely forgot, because it's been so long. I have never been like, well, okay, this is my first time owning a house and being in my own place where I had to worry about this, because like I said, last time I worried about like a Florida freeze like this was in high school, and it was my parents' duty to take care of that. So I just didn't think about it. But like, my husband was telling me the whole entire ring notifications app thing, everybody was talking about their bursted pipes. And I live in an area that has like older houses. My house isn't necessarily old. Mine is in the 2016 time frame. So I think we got lucky. because my pipe stand burst. I completely forgot that that was a thing. I also live in a kind of sunny area, so I think that's the advantage we had, and the fact that I don't know, we just got so lucky. We slept through the whole entire night. We got home around like 9 o'clock something. I don't even remember. Like the last 2 days were such a blur. I was telling the market vlog how like at the end of because it was very, very, very windy. That cold front, it was a polar vortex is what some of the reports were. It came through and it just blew things over. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, I'm pretty sure. And it just, yeah, I don't even have words. It was rough. When we got home, I was just exhausted and I just needed to go to bed, especially since like I had woken up really early and yeah, I'm not a morning person. So now that we're here and I've given you the update, I'm going to continue working on this. I'm hoping to get at least done with the bodice because I think this is the final iteration. We'll see. And then I will probably have to buy yarn for the sleeves, but that's okay. I want this to be a really good pattern. Yeah, I want to eventually in my future when I do more markets, because I don't want to just sell to people who want to buy crochet items, because I know my goal is to become the fashion designer, not just the fashion seller. I want to be able to sell the patterns more because I think I have some value in that, some worth in that. I want to eventually start bringing like a binder full of all the patterns that I offer for free and paid and like advertise that. I was watching some art vendors who have like multiple art skills. They bring their tattoo books, like their flash art, to their markets, and they show people, hey, this is what I do. If you want to book an appointment with me, let me know, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I want to do, except for I'm not booking appointments. I'm just like, hey, if you want to purchase this pattern, I might do like my little QR code in the corner so that they can just directly go to that link. I think that would be a good idea, actually. I can't wait to get to that point. I will get there as soon as I can. Oh, before I start getting back into the crochet, I kind of changed my mind again as my Litwick Gajinka is, yeah, still not going, but I got the basics of it going. So I sketched this out at work and I'm getting better at drawing and I'm pretty happy with where I'm going, but this is what I want to do instead. So I do have the pants cut out. I do have this top cut out. These sleeves, I have a pattern, and it was part of the pattern that I wore, the dress that I wore for the market. So that dress, it has like a sleeve, a puff sleeve, but under that puff sleeve, it has like a bell sleeve. And I want to take that sleeve and then just attach like, I don't know, the little stretchy elastic, and then make like a band cover or something so that I can just stick to that and then just make it like a detachable sleeve type thing. I think that's what I want to do. I know that's what I want to do. I want to keep the mask going. I may or may not add the hood. I'm not sure at this point. I'm kind of over it. I really love the mask idea. And then I want to add a witch's hat. I have a bunch of like purple flowers that I could add to it, purple and black flowers, which doesn't really match. But at this point, I'm not entirely sure that I want to do Litwick as a Gajinka anymore. I just kind of want to base it on that and not like be like, hey, I am Litwick, you know? And then I don't know. Yeah, I drew one little bat. So I have this like vintage from the 90s, I want to say. It's like a, I don't remember how you call it, but they're bats that are attached to like a string type thing, and they're supposed to be decorative, and I want to do that around the brim of the hat, so I have like witches or bats hanging down. They have little black or yellow beads for their eyes, so I think that could kind of tie into Litwick's eyes. And yeah, I think this is going to be the final iteration. One of my leaders at work walked by while I was drawing it, looked down, and was like, that looks like kind of like a gunslinger witch. I'm like, I love that. And that's kind of the vibe I want to go for now. I know I was going for cybertech or cyberpunk or whatever I was going for. I was going for that. But I've since then changed my mind again because I'm allowed to. All right, let me get started on crocheting. Terrible news. I somehow missed 5 stitches and it's off by 5. It looks so cute where it's at right now, but there are 5 stitches missing. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be okay. I still have 12 days to Valentine's Day. It will be okay. I'm going to turn on Cottagecore Landgirl's video, watch her play some Infinity Nikki 2.2, and we're going to get this done. Dear God, I don't believe in you, but please give me patience. And we're back. Wait, we're back. So what I've done here is I did my pens and then I attached my things. Like I counted as I went. I start with foundation single crochet because I hate working in the chain. It just really annoys me. So instead of attaching at the like chain portion of it, I attached it at the actual crochet portion at it. And then I'm just gonna go around, if that makes sense, and sew like crochet into the chain. I really don't know how to explain this. And once I get around to making the pattern, I'm hoping that the pattern testers will be able to help me try to explain it to other people, if that makes sense. But we finally have the correct stitch counts, and I will be continuing this pattern from square one. Also, in the future, I think what I want to do is I'm going to gather up some of my friends or coworkers, the ones I kind of like, and I'm going to be like, hey, this is going to sound weird, but can I use your body real quick so I can like do some measurements? I'll give you cookies or something like that. I don't know. It's just going to be my way of testing out my pattern myself before I do all the math, because honestly, the math portion of pattern making is the worst portion of pattern making for me. Well, okay, let me take that back. The socializing with the pattern testers is the worst portion for me because I have tons of anxiety and I hate being in groups of people. And it's not the pattern tester's fault. It's a personality flaw. So I will be probably finding people. Maybe I'll get myself more out into the community and finding other people in the community being like, hey, I just have these patterns that I want to try out and I just need somebody to model for me real quick. Could you be a stand-in model just for like 2 seconds and then I'll give you treats. You want a treat? That's the thought process. This I hope is like the final iteration of it. I really, really hope. Then I gotta do the sleeves. But I'm doing it. I'm making my own pattern and it's going to be really cute. Honestly, I think this would be really cute, like even by itself without the top being this. It'd be really cute as like an ice cream pattern. If I did like all this in pink and then did this like whatever pattern I wanted. I don't know exactly. And then the bottom layer in this stitch because it kind of looks like waffle cone. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, folks, I no longer want to add these dang old granny squares to this, and I know that's going to absolutely change what this looks like, but the counting is stressing me out. I no longer want to add it. I don't know what I want to do with these granny squares, but I don't know. I realized back here somewhere I messed up as well, and I forgot to add 2 stitches, so it's messing me up really bad. My head hurts. I'm so tired. I probably just need to take a break from this, but I really want to get it done by the 14th. And like, I don't know, man. I just know that it could be great if I keep the granny squares in. It just doesn't feel great working on it because I keep on messing up and having to go back and then noticing that my math is wrong somewhere, and I hate it so much. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I'm not completely erasing everything. There's no way, no how. I cannot do that to myself. I gotta figure something else out. New game plan. We are going to take off all of these heart granny squares. I don't even like granny squares that much anyways, so I'm not too upset about it. I am upset with all the work that I've tried to put in, and it hasn't been successful. However, I can take all these squares, I think there's 12 of them, make a scarf out of it. Maybe I'll sell it. Doubt I will keep it because it's just, I'm not the type of person that likes to wear granny squares. So it will be going in my shop eventually. I'll probably do like a whole outfit thing. I am just going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to take these off, right? And then I'm going to start doing the bodice down. Got to do a little bit of extra counting. I'm going to do the color in this middle right here. I'm going to do different textures, different lines, whatever. I'll show you when I get there because I don't really know how to explain. I can see it in my head. I can envision it. I can't draw it out, but I can see it, and that's what I'm doing. All right. So, sorry, goodbye, little granny square heart idea. You were kind of a plan. You were a concept of a plan. That sucks. All right, on to the next. Oh, also, because I'm doing this, I probably won't have to buy more yarn. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, because although I have been making money off of my markets, I'd rather like save that money. Just because you have money doesn't mean you need to spend it. Okay. Let me show you guys when I get back. Yeah. All right, so this, okay, I gotta get you guys at a better angle. Hold on. This is what I mean by I was going to do this little pattern. However, I was trying to do like, so I don't have to sew it in later because I'm lazy. And this feels awful. Also, it feels too big. So I'm going to frog it yet again. That is the moral of this cardigan. I know it's going to be worth it at the end, but I got to be patient. My fingers hurt. I don't want to be on garden duty. I mean, okay, I say that, but I'm also about to start my garden this spring, so it's a victory garden, by the way. If any of you guys are into 1940s, just history in general, you'll understand why I'm starting my victory garden. So anyways, I'm going to frog this, and then I'm going to not do the slip stitch method, because I'm going to be so honest with you, right down here, it looks pretty bad. Hold on, where is it? Hold on, I gotta get you guys at a better angle again. Alright, so if you look down here, you can obviously see where the slip stitch method is being used. I say method, but I don't know. I don't know how else you call it, but you can obviously see where I'm doing slip stitches. And also, right here, it was really hard for me to like figure out how to get that together. So I'm just gonna do rows across, and then once those are done, I'm going to do the mattress stitch up. I am going to loosen this up down here a little bit. My fingers hurt. It's going to be worth it. I swear it's going to be worth it. February 14th, please don't come too fast. Don't be upset with me. I'm completely frogging this, and I'm not going to do the dark cardigan. I had a premonition. What's the word? I don't know what the word is. As I got up, because my arm was tired of crocheting and then frogging and crocheting and frogging, I was like, this sucks. I'm not getting anywhere. I've honestly lost as much progress. I haven't made any progress. I have been wanting a hood, like a bonnet style hood. Maybe not a bonnet, but I've been wanting a hood or like, yeah, bonnet. I've been wanting one for a really long time. I'm going to do that instead. I think I'm going to make at least one pixie cap hood, and then I might do like the bonnet style hood after that, because I don't want to do this anymore. The pixie style one, I'm going to use the same motif. Sometimes it's okay to just step back and come back to this project. I do plan on maybe coming back to this project. I did write down the beginning, because like the beginning part worked. This all worked. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm over it. Bye-bye. Good frosty morning. It's actually the warmest day it has been in like the last 3 days. But I keep on frogging this. However, I'm learning more and more, and I think this is the final iteration. I said that a lot with the cardigan, but this one for sure, except for the fact that I'm going to add 2 stitches in the future projects whenever, because I have a feeling I'm going to make more of these. But here's where we're at right now. So we're about 3/4 of, no, not 3/4, 1/3 of the way done. Maybe less than that, probably less than that. So in the future, I'm going to add 2 stitches, one on this end, one on this end, because doing like right here, I don't know how to explain it, but it just doesn't really line up where I can do the decrease double front post double crochet thing. I don't know how else to explain. I'm so sorry. But anyways, once I get the hood down, I'm going to make little tiny hearts using this colorway yarn. And I don't know how many I want to do, but I'm going to just like litter them around here. And then I'm going to attach these guys to the bottom of the hood. Let's look what it looks like now. Oh, hold on. That way I can still use all this work that I put in, because I put a lot of work in and it just didn't it didn't come out the way I wanted to, and I'm really upset. I'm not really upset. I'm just kind of disappointed that I just didn't stick with it, because I know I said this in the last vlog. I'm pretty sure you have to keep on frogging to get yourself to where you want to be, and I did frog. Believe me, I frogged. But I'm not one for big projects. Like, I am one for big projects, but I'm more for like accessories. I have come to know, like, when I go to the markets, I notice that whenever there's another crochet booth there, or even when I'm watching YouTube, whenever there's a crochet artist there, they're usually plushies, they're usually purses, they're usually bucket hats. And I think what I want to do is make mine specialize in hats, millinery, because that's something I was interested when I was younger. Anyways, okay, background story to me. When I was a kid, I had extremely low self-esteem, and I don't really want to get too into it, because if I get too into it, I might cry, and y'all have seen me cry enough on here, okay? So I was extremely low self-esteem, and there was always times where I wanted to like change something about myself, and the only thing I was able to change about myself actively was my hair. I wasn't necessarily able to dye my hair. However, I could do hairstyles, and because my mom bought my clothes, my styling was all in the hair. And I'm not obsessed with hair. Like, if you guys have been around for a long time, and I know I started this YouTube channel only kind of recently, within the last year or two. If you've been around since like the late 2010s, 20 teens actually, I was into vintage hairstyles, and that was all stemmed from the fact that when I was a kid, that was the only thing I was allowed to modify about myself. I used to cut my own hair. I used to dye my own hair when I would go to school, because like this is something I used to do in the mornings, because my mom would go to church hella early in the morning, and my dad wasn't really around, and if he was like, he wasn't really a dad, you know. I would do my hair at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, probably 4:30, because my mom would leave for church at like 4:30, and do my hair, go to school, have the whole emo cut thing done. On the bus home, I had like detangling spray, and I would just brush it out if my mom were to be home, especially on Wednesdays, because Wednesdays and Sundays were her days off. I would brush it out on the bus. That way my mom would never know that I ever did anything with my hair. My dad saw it once and he's like, whatever, she's a teenager, she's a kid, she's just going to do whatever she wants. But that was something from my childhood that I've kind of carried over to my adulthood. And now that I'm able to make my own fashion and clothing and own choices, that's kind of where the direction of my art goes, is customizing that portion of my avatar. Of course, I want to be better at sewing clothes and making clothes, like warm weather clothes, but I think in the future, I will continue making shawls. I think the shawls are fun, but if I do more like cardigan style things, I think I'm gonna make that a sewing only, unless somebody has a pattern for me. I do really want to still make a cardigan out of this pattern. I just don't have the patience right now. And I think I will also only stick to one motif instead of trying to add the granny squares, because I think that was a huge portion. Like, I got to Sleeve Island. That's what it was. I 100% knew what got me to stop was Sleeve Island. It is what it is. But also, I live in Florida. This was probably our last big freeze of the year. It was a really big freeze too. Like, we got down to 25 in where I live. We got down to 25 degrees, and I haven't seen 25 degrees weather down here in a really long time. So it's about time for spring to pop up. Spring doesn't have a hard freeze like that. I'm not going to be able to wear the cardigan until next year, probably. So, bonnet. Next year I might try again. We'll see. I'll probably forget that I tried, but if you guys really want the pattern, let me know. Maybe I'll get around to it, but I have written the majority of what I did down. It was all just going to be basically this for the rest of it. So I am an adamant stitch marker user. I started off with 31 stitches down here at the bottom. I have 29 up here, and I don't know, like, I can see where it's like, I can't see where I'm dropping stitches, but I can feel where it's not lining up. I have to go all the way back. I need to go all the way back so that I can add those 2 extra stitches. I will get this done. I need to get this done. I'm so over this project. I feel bad because, like, I shouldn't compare myself. Comparison is the thief of joy. But, like, the thing is, I've been so used to being able to pump out at least one project a month. I didn't get anything done. Like, don't cry. Don't cry. You know you're on your period, but it's not worth crying over. I'm disappointed that I don't have anything done. I'm sad. I worked all month on that sweater, that cardigan, and it just didn't work out. And my eyes hurt because I keep on having to look down at this project. My hands hurt. My arms hurt. It's not worth crying over. But boy, oh boy, am I not having a good time. I'm going to take a break real quick so I can give my wrist a little bit of a rest. Because, like, okay, honestly, it doesn't hurt. It's just that my eyes are glazing over. Whatever. Anyways, this is what we got right now. I'm going to attach it right here. So I did make it a little bit bigger so that just in case somebody wants to wear their hair up. Like, this is for me, but, like, I want this to be a pattern in the future for me. So in case anybody wants to wear their hair up, they had thick hair or whatever, it comes out, right? So I'm going to do 2 iterations of this. And I think I kind of talked about it earlier, but this is the first iteration. It's going to be the pixie one where I just kind of sew it up the top. I'm going to make 2 panels, actually just 1 panel. It's just going to go all the way up. And then I'm going to attach the heart scarf. And then I'm also going to do another version. And it's not going to be like, it's bonnet style, but it's not going to be circle bonnet style. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do, like, take away 15 stitches from here. And then we will do a strip of one of these motifs in the middle. That way it kind of gives it the rounded edge style. And then I'm going to post on TikTok and Instagram, my business accounts, maybe here too, what everybody prefers. And then I'm pretty sure I know what everybody's going to prefer, but I'm still going to do it just to see or gauge what I should make more of. And then in the future, I will be making more designs in this because I love this. I love this little motif so much. I'm going to do hearts for these next two. The one after that, I might do, maybe instead of like the heart scarf around, I might do star scarf. I don't know. I'm not really into granny squares, so I might not even do that. But I want to do stars like littered around this. And then I also kind of want to do something more spiderweb themed because like that's kind of on brand for me too. And I do have that pattern from Eerie Knots that I could do the spiderweb scarf style. We'll look into that. But as of right now, I want to do stars and hearts. Update. I needed to finish a project for me, for my own self-esteem, for my own mental health. So I just made this into a scarf. I did not attach it to a hood. And it's kind of cute. I don't think I'm going to end up keeping this for myself, but I'm going to wear it today because we're about to go grocery shopping and it's going to match my jacket. My jacket's pink, but it's not this pretty pink. It's kind of an ugly pink, but this is what it looks like. Is a Valentine's Day enough? I don't know. Should I keep it? I don't think I want to keep it. But I finished something. That's incredible. Update on the bonnet. We've got it all sewed up. And here is what it looks like. I gotta go get my burritos. Hold on. All right, so the current plan right now is to add a trim right here and then add a trim here and then add like a little string so I can tie it here. But I'm almost tempted to do like a capelet. I don't think I really want to just because like that kind of limits how I can wear this. Well, also this kind of limits itself, but I do still want to add hearts. I'm just going to like litter them around. I don't know if I want to get around to the circle hood, but like it already does this. So maybe I should just make it into a capelet. I made one last year. I don't hate that one, but I also don't know what I want to do. I want this project to be done. That's what I want. But I'm going to eat my burritos and maybe I'll decide by then, or maybe I'll be playing hightail. Folks, we have come to the end of this week where I talk about everything I made, and I'm going to be so honest with y'all. I feel like I didn't make anything. Ain't that right, buddy? Starting off with the one thing that I did make. I hope I didn't accidentally throw anything in the trash. I did make this scarf. I wore it once. It's going to go in the pile for to sale. It's a little bit late in the season to be selling this, but oh well, maybe somebody else is really into lovecore and they'll like it. I'm not going to wear it outside of the one time I wore it. And like, I'm going to be honest with y'all too. Wore it to go grocery shopping and it was too hot to be wearing it in the grocery store because I was expecting like 34-degree weather when it was like, I think it was like 70 degrees, probably lower, maybe like 68. But because my body has become acclimated to that, it was just too warm to wear. I had my husband wear it around Publix the whole entire time. So this is the one thing I finished this week. And it's not even for me. And I think that's why I'm so upset, is the fact that I've been working hard to make a new item for myself. Like, being a fashion designer, I think I can call myself a fashion designer at this point because I have so many of my own patterns. Well, I gotta turn off something. Oh, it's so hot. I just opened the window, so now I'm gonna get too cold, but you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Me being somebody who used to be very quick at making my own clothing, I am disappointed in myself. However, I shouldn't be because I had 2 markets this month. Yeah, 2 markets. Okay, actually it's February now. But last month I had 2 markets and I had to get prepared for that. And I also had a lot of other things, background things happening. Y'all know the state of the world. You guys know what's going on. I am fully enveloped in the files and I wish I weren't. I think it's very important to know what's going on. I've always been online. I've been online since 2001. I was part of the Tumblr wars. where 4chan came in and tried to infiltrate us. I was there. I was on the ground. So knowing that we weren't wrong kind of blows my mind, to be honest, that we were right the whole entire time. And this is not a joking matter at all. Seeing how serious these files are, just like, it's really affected my mental health. And I know it's affecting my art. My art is starting to sway a little bit. I've been wanting to make more political things. I haven't been wanting to post. And I want to try to get myself out of there so I can start feeling normal again, feeling joy again, because joy, art, is the opposite of war. We are currently not at peace. Peace is not the opposite of war. However, we are not in peace. This country is in a state of turmoil. But that's all besides the fact. I shouldn't be upset with my progress. My progress is only going to get better as I become better at my craft. So that being said, that is the one thing that I finished this week. However, I was planning on maybe like just extending this week's vlog, but I was like, no, this is two separate things. I was not able to finish the cardigan. I do plan on making a cardigan pattern in the future, but as of right now, because I live in the state of Florida, first of all, second of all, because I just want to have something done, I will not be finishing that cardigan. I will be making a pattern in the future, but we are starting to warm up. So instead, I'm going to make a bonnet, which this is done. Well, it's not done, actually. It's mostly done. I have more that I want to add to it. I added all the hearts to it, and I like the little pixie right here. I think I'm going to add a different color way to this. I am working on a capelet portion of it, which I'll show you guys next week, but this is not done. It will be done soon. I'm hoping to have it finished by the 11th, I want to say. I think we're going out to Universal. There's another cold advisory, so maybe I should have finished the cardigan, but that's neither here nor there. I want to have this done. I don't believe that I want to have this into a pattern yet. It's not fully fleshed out. I think what I want to do is do two separate pieces and then sew it in. But yeah, we are getting places. We are not upset ourselves. The state of the world is really fucked up right now. And we must push forward, keep making our art, and stay on our toes, because holy shit, holy shit. All right, stay safe. Fuck the government. Fuck the system. Find your communities, and I'll see y'all next week, hopefully. All right, bye.